Hello Sagittarius, and welcome to your reading for the week of February 6th through 12th, 2024. This is a reading for you if you are Sagittarius Sun, Moon, or Rising, or have another significant Sag placement in your chart, if you know what your chart is. If you're new to the channel, welcome. It's good to have you here. If you find these readings helpful, or this reading, please give a thumbs up. You can leave me a comment if you would like. And also, please consider subscribing to the channel. Hit subscribe, notification bell so that you don't miss videos. Right now, I put them out every Monday. I'm considering spreading them out over a week period of time, but we'll see how that goes. As of the moment, I do them every Monday. I try to put them all out at the same time. And so if you hit the bell notification, you won't miss any. In the description below, I have links to my PayPal, which is my donation site, which, again, nobody's obliged to donate, but people have asked to donate in the past, and I say thank you very much to those of you who have. So that link is down there, as well as the link to my spiritual coaching and reading stuff website, which is liminalreiki.com, and then links to my social media as well. If you're not familiar with the way I do readings, I do an astrological spread. So I use all 12 houses of astrology. I use the meanings of the houses, and then we see what the cards are in those houses. So I connect the meaning of the house to the meaning of the cards and what they mean. This is a general reading. So I'm going to be giving all possible interpretations. Take what resonates and leave the rest. There's going to be a whole lot that may not pertain to you because it is general. So the aspects of it that seem to fit, just take those, and yeah, you can disregard the others. If the reading doesn't seem to resonate with you at all, and you say you are a Sagittarius Sun, or you've been focusing on an aspect, then you may need to focus on a different aspect. So you may want to watch a reading for your ascendant sign or for your moon sign or something like that. The deck I use to read with is Murray Hope's Cartouche deck, and I clarify with a tarot deck each week. I try to use a different one. This week we are using the Angel Tarot by Travis McHenry, and I will give an oracle reading. I usually pull an oracle card to summarize and pull the reading together at the end, and this week we are using the Fairies Oracle. Okay, so first house, Aries energy. This has to do with you, your personality, how you present yourself to the world, how people see you. We have the Eight of Pentacles with Osiris. Okay, so you are definitely coming across as a leader here, Sag. Eight of Pentacles is somebody who would be a mentor, an expert, somebody that people follow. Eight of Pentacles is a hardworking person as well. So you may be hard to work with something. You may be very ambitious lately. And Osiris is your own energy. It's Sag energy. It actually could be Sag and Aries, so it kind of nicely dovetails with this house. But this is definitely leadership, trusting your own judgment. Coming across confidently and as a leader. So I feel like last week you were a little bit more held back or reserved. This week it looks like you're on your game again here. Second house, we have a Taurus energy. This has to do with money, finances, your values. This is strong Venus energy. And you have the Eight of Cups with Sirius. So another 8 here. You've got 2 8s in a row. This has to do with walking away from something, okay? Eight of Cups is walking away from something that maybe stood you in good stead for a long time. So for some of you, this could be walking away from a job situation or some other kind of financial arrangement maybe that you've had. It could be, there's a lot of possibilities. It could be a relationship, a connection, but there's something here that you're walking away from. And Sirius indicates thinking outside the box. You're moving into new territory, trying to broaden your scope on something or think about something differently. Now, Sirius can indicate sometimes where we're taking the rough with the smooth a little bit. So I don't know if there's been some financial situations that have been a little bit rocky. Not anything you can't handle, but just maybe a bit stressful. And Sirius may be that maybe you're trying to refigure how you want to do something, and this may involve walking away from something. An example of how that might look, but isn't necessarily what's happening, is that if you've had a job, say, that you've had for a long time, maybe that's been your bread and butter, where you've made most of your money. This may be saying, okay, you have an opportunity to make more money or to do other things. Maybe there's some more work involved, but this will mean walking away from that secure job, potentially. I'm not saying that's what's happening here, but That would be an example of how those energies might work together. In any case, there's definitely a sense that you are walking away from something and trying to look at something with new eyes or do it in a different way. Third house is Gemini energy, and this is about messages, communications. If you're in your own business, this is the house of self-effort. Can have to do with short-term travel and also with brother-sister relationships. So that, all those are possible. Not necessarily all are applicable, but that's all that's possible. You have Lotus with the Page of Wands. Now, Page of Wands is a messenger in the message house. So this does feel like there's a message that is coming in. Page of Wands bring good news. So this could be good news if you are in your own business. This may be good news connected to your business. Whatever this news is, whether it's connected to business or not, or to a family, like I said, a sibling relationship or something, you have it with Lotus. So Lotus seems to indicate that whatever it is, it should calm your mind about something, or give you peace of mind or bring peace of mind. So I feel like there is news coming in. Maybe there is something you've been anxious about. And this seems to indicate that whatever message is coming in is going to allow you to relax a little bit. And, excuse me, is going to allow you to relax a little bit and not worry so much about a situation. So yeah, so good news of some type coming in for you. And again, maybe that will be clarified as we go through the reading. Fourth house is Cancer energy, and Cancer is home, family, particularly the mother, but family in general, and also your home environment and your security. Okay, you've got Pyramid with Sun. Wow, Sun's great. Sun is so if this does have to do with a home or family situation, this would indicate overcoming obstacles. It indicates, with the Sun, it indicates clarity. This is a very happy card. It's considered to be one of the happiest cards in tarot. And you have it with Pyramid. So Pyramid indicates something that maybe has been a test situation. So again, whether this has to do with family, maybe specifically with the mother, whether it has to do with a situation in your home, it's going to be different for everybody. But there seems like there has been some kind of a test of a situation or of a relationship, and the Sun indicates, a very, very positive and happy outcome. When the Sun comes up, sometimes this could be around a child as well. We'll see what's in the next house, which is the house that connects to children. So if you think that applies to you, this could be a test situation that's related to a child in some way, or the birth of a child. But again, does not have to be. Generally speaking, I would say that some kind of difficult or testy situation that the Sun indicates, coming through with success, clarity, and happiness. And that does seem to resonate a lot with this Page of Wands with Lotus over here. Maybe there's something you've been on pins and needles about, and now you've gotten some good news that allows you to breathe easy about it. Fifth house, rather. This is Leo energy. Leo has to do with creativity, as I mentioned, children, love affairs. So if you are single and looking for love, or if you are dating somebody, this could apply to that situation. Maybe there's somebody you want to date. Can also have to do with recreation and leisure, so things that you do for play or for fun. And you have Bast with the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, so for some of you, maybe there is a birth omen. Maybe there might be somebody here who's going to be having a child, because Queen of Pentacles, to me, it can be a card of, it's not typically a card of pregnancy, but some of the Pentacle Court cards are ones that I potentially would associate with pregnancy. And I wouldn't necessarily here, except that I see the Sun here. So that could be for somebody. And again, that's obviously not everybody. But, and Bastet, yeah, that's the happiness card. Bast also has to do with children. So I don't know. There seems like for some of you, there's some situation around a child that where there's going to be good news, there's going to be some relief. Some situation that's resolved happily and successfully. This is the happiness card too. So if children are involved, then that's the interpretation, for you. If children are not involved, or if you're saying, I don't know, there's no news about my kids, I have no idea, then this would have to do either, again, with a love affair, if it's a man viewing this reading, or just somebody who likes women, then the Queen of Pentacles is, could potentially represent an earth sign woman, or it could just represent somebody with whom you feel very, very comfortable, someone who's very grounded and very earthy. Could be an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. So that's a possibility here. With Bast, yeah, this could indicate a social event, a party, or something that you go to, or just getting out and socializing in general. And yeah, again, whether this person is you, if this is another person, this could be somebody that you meet. I should also note that the gender doesn't have to matter here. This could just be an earth sign person or somebody who you feel very emotionally comfortable with, because this is also about a lot of emotional comfort. There's a lot of that showing up here. So whether this is something you're getting to through something you're doing for recreation or leisure, you're going out, you go on a trip, or you go out with friends to do things. There's definitely this idea of spending time with somebody that you are comfortable with. And again, if that's if the child interpretation doesn't follow up. This has to do with a creative project. Now, Bast sometimes has to do with somebody who's involved with music or with dancing or the arts in some way. There could be creativity connected to that. And again, take that as it resonates. But again, the Queen of Pentacles could be another person who is supportive in some way, or who is comforting, or who is able to provide either financial or emotional support in some fashion. So I don't know if this is characteristics of somebody you're dating or who you want to date, but those are the energies that are presenting here. Sixth house. This is Virgo energy, and Virgo is health, service, meaning jobs or people you work for. If you're in a job where you're working for somebody, not self-employed, and it may or may not be something that pertains to your career. And also, this is the house of worry and potentially of domestic animals for some people, if that seems to apply. We have water with the King of Wands. Okay, sorry, King of Swords. Okay, so I feel like there's decisions being made. So this either connected to a health situation, to a job, potentially to a situation with a pet. But this could be also just something that you're anxious about generally. You can be generally anxious about change, or change that you think may be coming. And King of Swords indicates looking at something logically, practically, like with a cool head, like taking the emotion out of it. And, so there could be a lot of emotions here too with water. And maybe it's saying you need to step back and make decisions and think about things from a detached and more logical perspective. I should note that over here with Sirius in the second house, if this does pertain to work and money, Sirius would also indicate that level of detachment, not getting emotionally involved in decisions that you're making. For some of you, this is going to be leaving a job maybe that you've had for a long time. But nonetheless, there's definitely this sense of, if you're saying, no, I'm staying in my job and that has nothing to do with it, then there's definitely some kind of movement or change that you are concerned about. In a health matter, again, there could be strong emotions, so that could potentially represent stress, illness. It could just be something, maybe change, life changes. Our bodies change every 7 years. This could represent a change in health or a health situation that comes as a result of that. And again, in that case, the King of Swords might say, okay, well, you want to see a doctor or professional if you're sensing changes that maybe are worrisome to you, and have them, take a clinical look at what's actually going on there. That doesn't mean you have health problems, by the way. And I also want to assert, as I always do if I read this as a health reading, that I am not a doctor, and this is not a substitute for medical advice. So you definitely, basically, if you do feel this is applying to a health situation, then you may want to go have it checked out, which is what I would advise anyway. I'm not the determinant of that. Okay, seventh house. This is Libra energy. So this is relationships. So marriages, so long-term partnerships. If you are in a dating situation and you are saying, is this going to turn into marriage? That would be covered by this house. Or whether or not you've met, quote unquote, the one. That might be an element of what's discussed here. Also, just business relationships, any kind of contractual relationships, because Libra has to do with justice and law. So yeah, there's generally the implication that this is almost a legalized partnership or relationship in this house. So you have Sphinx with the Six of Wands. Now this is interesting because Six of Wands indicates victory and leadership. And again, you're right across from your first house here, where you have the Eight of Pentacles and Osiris. So in some kind of partnership, whether it's a business partnership, a marriage, there's definitely the idea of leadership and success. Maybe if this has to do with a business, maybe you are the partner who is taking the lead here, okay? And it seems like there's been a victory recently. The Six of Wands does represent victories that are in the moment and not like a victory for all time. Like, okay, you succeeded in this moment. You know, you're in one deck, I think they call it riding the tiger. Like you're riding high in the moment, but that's not the end of the work. It's like there's going to be more stuff to be done. You've just got a victory for right now. But nonetheless, this is a very good omen for accomplishment, for leadership, for being seen, for being respected by people. Now, interestingly, you have it with Urias, and I'm sorry, oh, wow. The card with a similar meaning, actually, Sphinx. That's interesting that Urias came out of my mouth. So that could be a connection. That could be my own intuition connecting, getting me the connection here. Sphinx has to do with what's secret, okay? What's hidden. Sometimes it's something. It means we're taking a wait and see approach to something. Let's see what information comes out. But the fact that Urias jumped out of my mouth when I looked at this indicates to me that there is something, there's some aspect to a situation that you're not seeing, that's being kept secret. Now, either you're keeping the secret or somebody's keeping a secret from you, whether it's your partner, whether it's just somebody else in whatever this partnership situation is. But this is definitely saying that there's more information to be gotten here. There is something that remains to be uncovered. Sometimes, see, I don't know. In this house, occasionally this has shown up at times when people have been suspicious of their partners. Are they doing something behind the scenes? But again, the fact that Urias jumped into my head just seems to indicate maybe somebody's being secretive about something, but maybe it's not what it looks like, okay? Because Urias to me is usually a card of, there is something unexpected about this, but, if you're nervous about a crisis or a change, this may be saying, well, no, it's actually, it's a situation maybe that looks bad, but once explained, it will make sense. Sometimes that's what it is, or it just can be saying that there's going to be some factor coming into play that you're not expecting, that you're not being told about, or that's not in your purview right now. So definitely this idea of victory, leadership, and success, but some situation also where you need more information, certainly. Okay, now we have the 8th house, Scorpio energy. This is about transformations. It's birth and death, big milestones, the general flow of your life. I always like to say seems to apply to the 8th house. Esoteric matters if you're interested in that kind of thing. And also other people's money. So King of Pentacles and Thoth. So King of Pentacles here, okay, that could be a financial omen. This could be about a business partnership because it is about other people's money. And you have it with the Thoth card. So Thoth, from a karmic perspective, because the 8th house very much has a lot to do with karma, would be a karmic good turn. So this is about somebody doing something for you, somebody returning a favor. Now, the King of Pentacles could be you or it could be them, because there's definitely a sense of someone who is a good business person, who has control of their money, who is a resource, a mentor. And again, the fact that I have the 8 of Pentacles up here, this could be you. You could be moving into a phase of financial security, in a phase of being able to advise others, of having success in business, if that's what you are going for. Or again, take it as it resonates. This could be somebody else who comes in and helps you out with the financial, and just because this is the house of other people's money. Now, Thoth here, if it doesn't have to do with a karmic good turn, there's still a strong element of time and spiritual healing also in the 8th house. So if you're not a particularly spiritual person, I would definitely say, and maybe even if you are, I would definitely say that when this shows up in the 8th house, the time is going to be right for something. And the fact that it's connected to the King of Pentacles, I feel like whatever you maybe have been struggling with financially, or maybe you've been thinking of leaving a job to start a business, could be something like that. Whatever it is, you are poised now for success because the time is right. Okay. 9th house, this is your own energy, Sagittarius energy. And Sag energy is about is Jupiter. So it's expansion. It's long distance travel. It can be legal matters. That is court stuff does come into the 9th house. Ideas of freedom and independence. Higher education, educational institutions, religious institutions. Anything to do with higher thought or what we consider higher ed or higher learning, and also deeper thought. But I've also seen people, say going for certifications and things like that also falls into this house as well. And you have fire with strength. Wow, you got double fire here because strength is Leo energy. So yeah, you just seem, yeah, again, you've got all this fire energy, Sag, in your own houses, which is great because that means your own energy is exalted right now, and that you are, you're motoring, you're moving along. Your strength would indicate the restraining of emotions, and I feel like it's taking this fire energy and channeling it in a proper way. So you are moving it towards your own personal expansion, whether this means you're thinking about traveling, whether this means that you are thinking about going back to school, or being you have this mentoring card, maybe you're the person teaching, who knows. But there's definitely the idea of definitely the expansion of your horizons. And this is being accomplished by struggling with things that perhaps have been a conflict for you, whether this has to do with something you're learning, whether it has to do with your own values and beliefs. And with fire, there's definitely the sense of burning up, or either alchemically integrating or burning up the things that no longer serve you, that you either find a place for it with you or you get rid of it. There's this inspiration here to move ahead. So right now I would just say, in the house connected to your own energy and connected to your own self-expansion, this Jupiter energy, you are definitely fired up and ready to go. So let's look at the Capricorn house. This is the 10th house, and this has to do with career, fame, reputation. Okay, this is interesting. Earth with the devil. Now, Earth generally, okay, that's actually, this is double Capricorn. So just like, yeah, so you've got Capricorn in the Capricorn house, which normally I would say, okay, that's good. That's a, it's exalted within its own house. However, the one thing I think you need to watch out for here, because Earth definitely indicates, money coming from career, fame, reputation. So, yeah, if there's been some difficulty with money over here, then this just seems to indicate you're being poised to make money, to get a lot of money, to do, or maybe you have some financially lucrative offer. But you have the devil here, and the devil in this case indicates a too strong of an attachment to earth things. So I feel like you need to make a decision about a change here, and this is probably why you need to make an unemotional decision, because when the devil shows up, it can indicate that we are caught in a toxic thought pattern about something. So seeing 8 of Cups and Sirius over here in your finance house, maybe the message is, again, for some of you, not necessarily for all, you either need to make a significant change to your career. This could involve leaving a job that maybe you've been comfortable with, but really isn't where I'm sure. And with the Thoth in the 8th house, I'm sure you already know that this is something that you need to move on from if that's the case. But you have this devil here saying, yeah, but, what if the new thing doesn't work out as much? What about this? What about your health? What about this? Yeah, I know the commute's terrible, but, you are making money, and, at least it's a sure thing. The devil is what tries to keep you in place. Okay, it tries to chain you to the spot that you are, and, slows you down, makes you, you're fired up to go do something here, but there's still this little voice here that's saying, oh, but it's kind of risky to make this change. But staying where you are is probably toxic at this point for some of you. Or staying in a certain thought pattern about your career and your future is toxic. So you may be thinking too much about money, and sometimes we need to let go of thinking about money. Maybe that's why you have the 8 of Cups down here, like get away from that to open ourselves up to possibility, because when we are operating more within our authentic calling, I guess you will call it, however you want to think about that. Whatever it is whatever kind of legacy we're going to leave, like what we're going to do, money is not the primary factor. Okay, so it should not, I guess, whatever decision you're making here should not all be about money. So just keep that, take that as it resonates. 11th house is Aquarius energy, and this is about friendships. It's about your social networks, your goals, wishes, and perhaps your destiny. Okay, Buckle of Isis with High Priestess. Yeah, here we go again. High Priestess. Okay, again, just like we had in the 7th house, there's this element of secrecy here. High Priestess can indicate things that you're waiting on, things that maybe you don't have all the information yet. There could be somebody, and the fact that it's showing up here, it could be a friend or a business partner. I don't know, somebody in your networks there's something that you're not seeing, something that's behind the veil, okay? But you have this with the Buckle of Isis. So the buckle of Isis definitely indicates that changes you make right now will be rewarded. And it does make me wonder if these bits of information that you don't have, because you're having these with cards of success. You have the Six of Wands, which is a card of leadership and success. Buckle of Isis is about movement and change. Like it's about the sacrifices you make will yield results. So there definitely seems to be the idea of giving up. For some of you, okay, if somebody here is pregnant, this is the other pregnancy card, okay? Maybe there's been a wish to have a child. But again, maybe there's this mystery aspect, the things that you don't know. And maybe there's a fear of walking away from your job, to have a baby or to do something like that, that this is going to compromise you financially. And so, and maybe some of you, maybe the reason you have water in the 6th house, because sometimes women can have very difficult pregnancies. It can be, some days can be good, some days can be bad. So maybe there's a need to make a decision about whether or not you should be working or still working. Again, this is only if you're a woman who's pregnant and this applies to you. But it occurs to me that might be a connection that we're looking at here for somebody, especially with the High Priestess, which to me, even though it's not, this is more a card of an independent woman, I still feel like in connection with this definitely has to do with, certainly with things that are mysterious and hidden. And once again, just like we have the, in the opposite house, we have Bast, which is the card of intuition. Here again, you have the card of intuition. So yeah, ultimately, I think you need to listen to your instincts on things. And there are changes that you do need to make. Again, if you're not pregnant, well, even pregnancy would involve a lot of changes, right? But even if that has nothing to do with it, this would be saying there is something you need to give up here. There is something you need to walk away from. You don't want to be tied to with the devil. And that by breaking away from something that maybe you're afraid of breaking away from, the results will be rewarded. Okay. 12th house. This is what you are unconscious of, maybe what you're repressing, what you might be afraid of, or what you don't want to show to other people. Okay, Crook and Flail with the 7 of Pentacles. Now, Crook and Flail comes up sometimes this comes up when we're worried about the rightness of something that we're doing, because Crook and Flail is a card of judgment, and we may think others are judging us for something that we're doing, or we feel like there's a situation that needs to be made right that isn't right, and maybe that has to do with some of this sketchy energy that we see. I don't know, maybe sketchy is too strong of a word, but the places where we're unsure about people and situations. So we want the truth, we want what's right. This can also come up when we may be doubting ourselves in some way, when we have like a lack of self-confidence. In the 12th house, there could be fears around that kind of things, or fears around authority. Like see here, you're presenting yourself, 8 of Pentacles, as the expert or the mentor. This sometimes comes up when we have imposter syndrome, when we're like, oh, well, in the 12th house, maybe secretly we are worried, are we the authority? Should we be that confident? Now, whatever's going on, we have the 7 of Pentacles. And the 7 of Pentacles indicates, yeah, I think the fear here is whether or not something you're investing in here or some kind of risk that you're taking. 7 of Pentacles, though, implies something that you've put an effort into already. And the question becomes, is it worth it? Am I going to yield the harvest? And the fact that you have Buckle of Isis here tells me, yes, you are going to yield the harvest. So then this becomes a card of patience. Sometimes when something takes a long time, we start getting filled with doubt and about our ability, about things that are going on. And this is saying, don't doubt yourself here. I did notice that you have a number, your Crook and Flail is card 17. 1 plus 7 adds up to 8, and you have an 8 here and an 8 here. So number 8 may be important for you. 8s as part of a process indicates, basically in the tarot, I feel like there are at least 3 levels of difficulty. Like your first level has to do with negotiating what you're doing on your own versus what you're doing with others. Then you move on to struggles and conflicts across the board with the 5s. The 7s are another layer of conflict, and the 8s are beyond that. You're not quite to the end. You're not quite at the 9 or the 10, but you are moving towards the end of something. I mean, you've got 7s and you've got 8s. The number 8 itself could also be important, so just keep it in mind. Something in 8 days, 8 weeks, 8 months. The 8th month, which could be August, Or you may find that the 8 is significant. There could be something on the 8th of a month that's significant. So, and again, it does not have to be, but something that, a pattern that's showing up. So, you know, you might want to make a mental note of that. Overall, you have Hathor, okay? So again, somebody here is definitely having a baby, okay? So this may be, because this is a card certainly of motherhood, of organizing a home and things like that. If you're, you know, a man watching this reading, or if you're just somebody who said, no, pregnancy is absolutely not on the table here for me, then Hathor would indicate this would be about getting in touch with emotional and intuitive energy. This would be about establishing security. It would be about homemaking to some degree. So, you know, making your space cozy. I mean, you've got the sun in the home house. So your home is a place that you definitely want to be right now, which however that works. Maybe you're even going to be working from home. Who knows? Hathor can also indicate people who are in certain professions that were traditionally associated with women, like anything to do with like fashion or beauty or aesthetics or you know, baking, cooking, you know, stuff like that. I mean, this could, all that's stuff that's potentially associated with the kind of crafty work that women do. You know, that it could indicate, you know, that, but I feel like as a more general thing, it either has to do with kind of getting organized, getting secure, and perhaps, again, tapping into that feminine energy, which is a little more passive and allows things to come to you rather than you necessarily reaching out. And you have it with the Death card. So death indicates that there's definitely changes coming. It's very clear to me that whether this is the birth of a child or something else, that nonetheless you are facing decisions and getting ready to make big changes. But again, as I see, there's some news coming in that I think is going to be good news, that's going to make you feel happy, that's going to, you know, ease your mind in some way. And I think the main thing this is telling you to watch out for is, you know, not getting too attached to money in a particular situation is connected to your career. But everything else actually looks really good. And if there is a pregnancy, congratulations if there is. There definitely seems to be the sense that you may be making some decisions around that. So again, that's very specific because, you know, obviously not everybody watching this reading is going to be, probably a lot of people now that's not going to apply to. But if we put that aside, there definitely seems to be the idea that something new is being brought to bear and you are concerned, you know, you are trying to make decisions that are intelligent about walking away from certain things and changing it. But ultimately, this is definitely the right time. This is establishing security, stepping into your power. You're in a very powerful position, Sagittarius. So, so everything is, it looks very, very good. Let me do a fairy card for you, fairy oracle. Let's see what Sagittarius needs to know for the week of February 6 through 12. Yep. Okay, so we've got 2 flips here. All right, so we've got Luathus the Wild, and we've got the Singer of Intuition. You got 2 cards. Okay, so what are these cards telling us? First of all, the Singer of Intuition, exactly what I've just told you here with the Priestess and the 4 of and Bastet. Well, you know, your intuition is telling you something important. Pay attention to it. Okay, that's going to be that, you know, there's information available to you in that fashion. Luathus the Wild, this is about taking risks. Okay, you know, this calls for new approaches, and it's telling you to think and to act creatively. Okay. And you know, what to do? Well, again, your intuition and your inner voice is trying to tell you what to do. That's different. But this card does sometimes come up when we're in a moment and we have to make an on-the-spot decision and take a risk and then just go for it. That's another possible aspect of this card. So yeah, I feel like you are, this is basically telling you to launch ahead, to take the risk, follow your intuition. And I think if you follow your internal guidance here, that you will not be steered incorrectly. So that's it for this week, Sagittarius. I hope this reading was helpful. Again, if you did like this reading, do give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment if you choose. And if you've not subscribed, please consider subscribing to the channel. Hit the bell notification so whenever I end up doing these videos in the future, whether it continues to be Mondays or another time, you will always make sure that you get the new video. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.